So I was on Twitter and I said, do you all want to hear the story of the time that my father threatened to chainsaw my entire family at a pizza parlor on New Year's Eve, 2001? And I guess it's time I can release that story, because my father doesn't care about it. My father laughs about it now, and my father doesn't know I do these videos, so there's no way he'll find out that I'm telling this story. When I was a young child, and my parents were divorced, my mother and father got divorced when I was 2 years old, in 1998. And they never really let him see me at all. My mother held a grudge against him for a very long time, never allowing me around him or him around me. And my grandparents kind of echoed the same sentiment, considering at the time this happened, I was living with my grandparents. This is about a year after I moved in with my grandparents, because they thought for my safety and for my well-being, because at the time my mother was an absent mother who shirked her responsibilities and decided to dabble in drugs, gambling, and alcoholism. So for my safety, they took me in. And it'd been 6 years, because I had just turned 6, because my birthday is the 20th of December. And this being New Year's Eve, so this is December 31st. And our tradition was to go to Monty's. It's a local pizza place, Monty's Pizzeria, where they're open all night for the only time of the year. And they serve unlimited pizza for half the price. And my grandparents would take me there with my mother and people from their family for a pizza party. And we'd be there for 3 hours just eating pizza, drinking pop. Unless you're my grandfather, then you're drinking beer, because my grandma would drive home that night because my grandpa got drunk because our grandpa at the party. And my father knew where we went, because he went with us once. Only once in this entire time had he ever gone with us. And that had been 4 years prior, to a point where I don't remember it. I just know it from what my grandparents had told me about the first time that he went with us. And my father had been drinking. My father, well known to have extremely horrible anger issues. And I have to admit that I also have some of those issues as well. I have some of those anger issues, but unlike him, I have a lot of control over my anger, in the form of being a ball rod. My father can't do this, though. He just has unrelenting anger a lot. And since he has anger issues, and he'd been drinking, and you shouldn't drink when you have anger issues, and he owned a brand new chainsaw that he'd gotten for Christmas, he drives from his home to Monty's. It's about a 10-minute drive. And he comes barging in the pizza parlor, waving a chainsaw with it going, "No, no, no," shouting at the top of his lungs that he's going to kill every single person in the restaurant, including the staff. Those poor workers, they'd be shitting their pants. My grandfather, being the person who he is and not enjoying conflict, because he's a bit more of a comedian, my throat won't clear up. So, him being the way he is, also being a person who's like the middleman and was the glue that held our family together for so long before he died, he did what he normally did. He walked up to my father, kicked it in his knee. He picked up the chainsaw after my dad dropped it, threw it outside, grabbed my father, and threw him in the bed of his truck, and that's where he stayed for quite a while. Because no one called the police, because everyone just said that he's drunk, he means no harm, just let him lay out in the bed of his truck. Like, alright. No real harm done other than us getting the shit scared out of us. And I was there. He was going to kill the whole family and take me with him, because he wanted his son. He wanted to be able to see his son. I think there's a moral lesson to be learned here. I don't know quite what it is, but I think there is a moral lesson to be learned here. And if there is, maybe you can let me know what it is.